On the beautiful campus of Rochester Christian University and inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, this is Warriors basketball on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here saying hello everyone and welcome to our broadcast, game 2 of 2 on the day between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Just moments ago, wrapping things up in overtime, the Warriors women held on to win that one 82-76 after Lawrence Tech erased a 15-point halftime deficit. Now it's the men's turn as we turn our attention to this game. Warriors come into this one 6-3 overall, but just 1-3 in the conference to start out the conference slate. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils come to town 5-5 overall, but 4-1 in conference play, including winners of their last 4. So the Warriors welcome in a red-hot Blue Devils team that comes into this one averaging almost 80 points per contest on nearly 42% shooting from the floor. We'll step aside for a quick timeout here on our pregame coverage as the Warriors and Blue Devils get set to tip things off here in just a few moments on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Welcome back on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Warriors just about ready in just a few moments to tip things off with the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Warriors come in 6-3 on the year, 5-5 on the other side for Lawrence Tech, but they have been on a roll as of late. Get to the starting lineups here quickly for both teams, starting with the Blue Devils. They'll start out with Aaron Dolney, Jimmy Salamone, and Andrew Rinn as the guards. Giannis Yanoltsis and Arash Jacoby are the forwards. And on the other side, for the Warriors and head coach Clint Pleasant, it is what you would expect. Brody Parker, Gunnar Walters, and Brett White are the guards. Dustin Farrow and James Fisher are the forwards to round out the starting five. In what should be a high-scoring affair between these two teams, as they both come in averaging north of 75 points per game on the year and both shoot it at around a 42% clip from the floor. Warriors are led by the scoring of Brett White, 21, almost 22 points per game, and that does not include his 31 that he poured in their seasoning open exhibition against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. But still shooting at 42% from the floor is Brett White this season, and we send it down now to the floor to public address announcer Mark Stowers.
For today's men's basketball matchup between the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils and your Rochester Christian University Warriors. The Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference and the NAIA are committed to maintaining the true spirit of competition in athletics. As such, please do your part by showing respect to every spectator, athlete, coach, and official involved in today's game. And now for the starting lineups. First, for the Blue Devils, wearing number 2, Aaron Dolney. Number 10, Jimmy Salamone. Number 11, Andrew Wren. Number 21, Arish Yapti. And number 8, Giannis Yonotis. And now, let's meet the starters for your Rochester Christian University Warriors. A 6-foot senior guard, number 5, Brody Parker. A 6'5" freshman guard forward, number 8, Destin Farrow. A 6'5" senior forward wearing number 10, Brett White. A 5'11" senior guard, number 11, Gunnar Walters. And rounding out the line, a 6'9" junior center, number 24, Jimmy Fisher. Your coach on staff, West Pleasant is your head coach. His assistant coach, Herrera, Scott Savage, and Armand Cartwright.
There you have it from public address announcer Mark Stowers here inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Warriors and Blue Devils getting ready to jump it up. Looks like it'll be Arash Jacoby and James Fisher to do the opening tip. Warriors have been excellent on their home floor dating back to the start of last season, 18-4 on their home floor. Tip is up and we're underway. Tip is controlled by Dustin Farrow, and he gives it off to Gunnar Walters to begin play. Walters marked by Salamone. Here's Brett White, still 15 on the possession. Swing it around to Brody Parker. Parker, 18 points per game on the year. Brett White tries a long jump shot, does not go. Rebound comes down to Andrew Wren. Left all alone for 3 is Salamone. Comes up short. Off and running is Brody Parker coast to coast. Now he'll clear out Brett White. Bounce pass goes to the interior, and Fisher flushes it home. James Fisher gets us started. Not even a minute in. Send it this way for Arash Jacoby. Now posted up for Yanoltsis. Driving and laying it in is Andrew Wren. Wren comes in first on the team in scoring at 16 points per game. Shoots at 41% on the year. That 3 rattles around and falls. Gunnar Walters for 3. Doesn't shoot it at a high percentage from 3 this season. In fact, only shoots at about 30% from the floor overall this year, but still comes in averaging around 8.5 points per game. Brody Parker gets tagged for the foul. Just over a minute and a half in. That'll put Andrew Rinn at the free throw line. First one's up and it pops out. Rinn, a 84% free throw shooter, takes about 5 attempts per game. Second one does go. So he'll settle for 1 out of 2 at the line. Mentioned Rinn averages about 16 points per game, also averages just under 8 rebounds per game as well. Fisher gets his second bucket of the day. Already 4 quick ones for the big man. Stepping into the three goes Dolney for 3. As a team, Lawrence Tech shoots at about 34% for 3 as spiraling but missing goes Brett White. His miss gets picked up by Andrew Rinn, goes outside. Trying a 3 was Jacoby too strong. Rebound to the freshman Dustin Farrow. Turning back goes Walters, leans back and scores it. You'll see him make that move maybe 2 or 3 times a game. Definitely likes that mid-range part of his game, does Gunnar Walters, also team leader in assists. In fact, he's led the team in assists in every game so far this season. Excellent job there defensively by Fisher. Driving goes Dolney, floats doesn't go. Rebound tapped off glass and controlled by Farrow. Excellent job by the freshman to fight for that rebound. Skip it far side, Brett White for 3, and that's going to creep over the backboard and out of play.
Checking in for the Blue Devils, number 12, Blake Lund. Also checking in, number 1, Cameron McEvans.
Lawrence Tech will send out Cameron McEvans, number 1 in the black for the Blue Devils, 12 points per game, averages just about 10 attempts per game, has 10 points or more in 7 out of their 10 games so far this year. He'll give it off to Blake Lund, extra pass into the corner for Salamone. 3 on the way is through by Giannis Yanoltsis. We're level at 9, all 9 of the Blue Devils' points coming off 3-pointers. And again, this isn't a team that necessarily shoots it at a high percentage from 3, only about 34%, as Dustin Farrow misses his 3-point try. But to start out this one as driving and scoring, Andrew Rinn for 2 to start things out. Lawrence Tech 3 out of 5 from 3-point range. Into the corner, goes for 3, Rinn. Pass goes inside for Fisher. Couple defenders were there, got the shot up, and it runs off the rim. Here's Blake Lund. Lund appearing in career game number 97 for the Blue Devils. Gives it off now to McEvans. 13 to shoot as it goes inside for Yanoltsis, and he traveled with it on the way up.
Checking in for the Blue Devils, number 23, Davin Walker. And we've got immediate time.
Timeout on the floor. 14:56 to go in the first half. Blue Devils lead it by just 2. We'll step aside for a quick timeout on the RC Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Blue Devils lead it by 2, 14:56 to go in the first half. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Lawrence Tech has started out 4 out of 8 from the floor, 2 of 5 from three-point range. They've gotten threes by Aaron Dolney and Giannis Yanoltzis. Yanoltzis 3 points, 3 rebounds already for him. On the other side for the Warriors, Gunnar Walters has 5. James Fisher has the other 4. It'll be Warriors basketball out of the timeout as going baseline is Farrow. He gets caught in the paint, and it was tipped away and on the end line by Lawrence Tech. Aaron Dolney comes back in. Looks like Salamone sits down. Brody Parker has it. Now Walters gets all the way in off glass. No, there's a foul on the shot try. Looks like that'll go against Blake Lund. Mentioned before the timeout for Blake Lund, appearing in career game number 97 as a Blue Devil, has averaged 22 minutes a game in his career as Walters hits the first free throw. One out of 2 for Gunnar Walters at the line. Warriors as a team shoot it pretty well at the free throw line, right around 80% on the year. As Lund up fakes against Fisher, goes in, turns back, fires, and scores. First basket for Blake Lund after he picked up the foul on the other end. Here's Walters, quick jab step, and works it over to Brody Parker, who spins and scores. McEvans walks in and lays it in. Couple quick baskets going both ways. First tally for McEvans. This shot is well off the mark. Andrew Wren looks to push, finds Lund for 3, and that's through. Three of 5 from three-point range as that shot off the heel by Gunnar Walters. McEvans into the front court. Swing it around the arc for Andrew Wren. Wren with 5 already in this one. Lund to McEvans, now posted up for Uzelik. Step back. Lund wants a 3 and got the 3. 21-12, Lawrence Tech, as they have used the three-pointer. Brody Parker goes in, couple hands ripped away that basketball. Away with it comes McEvans. Lund steps into a 3 again. Not going to go this time. Another rebound to Farrow. 12.5 to go in the half. Warriors trail by 9. Trying to post up for Fisher and do. Outside Brett White, pivots into a 3, knocks it down. Polatoglu heads over to the scorer's table. Could come in for Fisher, but we've seen at times this season Coach Pleasant will elect to play both big men at the same time, as they go up for three again, this time with Dolney no good. Couple subs as well getting ready to check in for Lawrence Tech as this bounce pass looking for Fisher's turned over. So Fisher does sit down, and that's the more typical scenario that you'll see them do, just swap those two. But again, could see them go with both at the same time here today. Seen them do it already a couple times this season. Yanoltzis picks up the dribble, goes to the logo for McEvans, steps back on Farrow, rises for three, and it's through. McEvans certainly gives up some height to Dustin Farrow. Farrow got a hand up on the shot, but it didn't matter. Brody Parker at the other end misses. 11 minutes to go. Next whistle should be a media timeout as the lay-in goes for Aaron Dolney. Inside Polatoglu works into some space and lays it up. Lawrence Tech started out the year 1-5, but have since won their last four with wins over Concordia, Cleary, Lourdes, and Siena Heights. And they lead early in this one 26-17 and make it 28. Halfway through the first half, Brett White goes all the way in, draws some contact, doesn't get the shot to fall, and doesn't get the contact call either. Going baseline is McEvans, toss it back outside, extra pass, and then one more to Lund for three, and he splashes it home. My goodness, Lawrence Tech putting on a three-point clinic in this first half, 6 of 11. For Lund, that's already his third, as Farrow gives it off to Brett White, goes right back to him on the baseline, doesn't get the shot to go, but gets a whistle and a foul. And that should lead us to the media timeout with 9:16 to go in the first half. And it will send us to that timeout. 31-17, Lawrence Tech out in front, thanks in large part to 6 out of 11 from three-point range, and shooting at 67% from the floor overall. We'll take a quick timeout from Garth Pleasant Arena. This is the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Lawrence Tech leads at 31-17 with 9:16 to go in the first half, thanks in part to 6 out of 11 from three-point range, including 3 of 4 from Blake Lund. He has 11. McEvans, Aaron Dolney, and Giannis Yanoltzis have the other 3. Lund has 11, McEvans, Dolney, and Rinn each have 5. On the other side for the Warriors, Walters has 6, James Fisher has 4. Lawrence Tech 12 out of 18 from the floor to begin. And as we make our way back out of the media timeout, Dustin Farrow will shoot free throws. Too strong on the first. Second one from Farrow does drop through. Warriors 2 out of 4 at the free throw line to begin. They've got some work to do down 31-18, but as we saw in the women's game earlier, McEvans pops for three, no good. Battle for the rebound as Ashton Gould comes away with it, and the possession will go to the Warriors. Looks like a foul's called on Lawrence Tech. Yanoltzis gets hit with the foul. That'll be his first. To finish that thought, back in the women's game just a little bit ago, Blue Devils trailed at the half by 15, ended up taking that game to overtime, so we'll see if the Warriors can do something similar here in this game. Hook shot doesn't go for Polatoglu in tight. Crossover dribble, stopping, turning, firing does not go for Andrew Rinn. Pushing it up the floor is Gunnar Walters, forcing his way against Dolney. His flip shot doesn't go. 8:25 to go in the first half. Driving is Rinn, underhand reverse goes. Rinn 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, adding to a solid first half so far. Going with an up fake and then floating one in is Brody Parker. Clock stops with 7:52 to go in the first half. Foul goes on Polatoglu. For Brody Parker on that last basket. His second basket of the day so far, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists for him. As they get it to Salamone, stops, turns outside for Yanoltzis for 3. Comes up short, Rinn the rebound, poked loose by Ashton Gould into the hands of Brody Parker. Wants to post up Brett White and does. He'll back his way in, and a blocking foul called on Aaron Dolney. That'll be the second on number 2, Aaron Dolney. He's got 5 points so far, a couple assists as well. Dolney 1 out of 2 so far from 3 in this one. A solid 3-point shooter for this Blue Devils team. Shoots at about 37% from the outside on roughly 7 attempts per game, as scooping on the run and scoring is Gunnar Walters. Solid start to this one for Gunnar Walters. Lund for 3. Correction, that was Salamone for 3 rather. Lund, in his own right, has hit a couple threes in this half, though, as stepping back and knocking down the mid-range 2 was Gunnar Walters, doing his best to try and keep the Warriors in it in this first half. 6:40 to go in the half, as Lawrence Tech leads it by 12. Yanoltzis goes outside, swinging around the arc into the corner for Rinn. Pushed his way in, goes back outside for Lund. 10 to shoot for Lawrence Tech as they go to the logo for Salamone. He's marked by Walters, pulls up, and off the heel it goes. Now Parker trying to go end to end, knocked out of bounds, and they'll say last touched by Lawrence Tech. Cameron McEvans will check back in for Giannis Yanoltzis. McEvans 5 points, 3 rebounds already in this one. Brett White's fading back jumper pops out. McEvans on the move, outside, 3 on the way for Salamone. This one catches air, and Polatoglu watches it go out of play. (36-24), 5:50 to go in the half. Handoff goes to Brett White, trying to back his way in on Blake Lund. He'll turn baseline, put up the shot, no. Whistle and a foul on Blake Lund. That'll be his second, team's 5th. Brett White will go to the free throw line. So far for Brett White, just 1 out of 6 from the floor, has 3 points. Has a chance to get a couple here at the line. White 21 points per game so far on the year. Sinks the first. Brett White has led the Warriors in scoring this season 6 times in 9 games. As he knocks down both. Gets it down to a 10-point differential. Still plenty of time to go in this first half. Rinn thought about the 3, instead he'll drive, reverse it, won't score it. Rebound to Polatoglu. Floated inside looking for Brett White. Turning baseline and scoring. 4 quick points for Brett White. Couple free throws and then the lay-in. After he started just 1 of 6 shooting. Stepping back goes Rinn and drops it home.
And the Blue Devils take a time.
39-28, Brett White, a quick 4-0 run, gets answered back by a 3 by Andrew Rinn. 5:04 to go in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout on the RC Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Welcome back on the RC Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Lawrence Tech leads at 39-28. They've shot it 50% from 3 here in the first half so far. And they've shot it just over 55% from the floor overall. They've been led so far by Blake Lund with 11. Andrew Rinn, who knocked down a 3 just before that timeout, has 10. On the other side for Rochester Christian, Gunnar Walters has 10. Brett White with that quick 4-0 run there on the other side of the timeout now has 7. Brody Parker and James Fisher have 4 apiece. It'll be Warriors basketball out of the timeout with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Walters off a screen, gives it off far side of the floor to Brody Parker, who floats it for Brett White. He'll turn baseline, hooks up with the right hand, no. Rinn, stutter steps back and knocks it down. Warriors did their best just to try and knock him off course. Stutter stepped back and knocked it down. Rinn has 12. That pass knocked away and taken away into the hands of Salamone. Now Rinn, crossover dribble, goes down to the floor, kept it alive for McEvans, had it slapped away. Launch it up the floor looking for Ashton Gould, and that's well over his head out of bounds. James Fisher and Dustin Farrow will come in. Polatoglu and Gould will sit down. 3:53 to go in the first half. So it's Parker, Farrow, White, Walters, and Fisher for the Warriors. On the other side, McEvans, Yanoltsis, Salamone, Rinn, and Jacoby for the Blue Devils. Three is banked home as he hit the deck by Cameron McEvans. Walters wants a three of his own and puts it through. Warriors right now with 3:20 to go in the half, just trying to keep it within range. Try to get to the halftime locker room and regroup. McEvans goes on a walk, has it swatted by Fisher, but a whistle and a foul on the drive. And it looks like they're going to get Brett White. That'll be the first on Brett White, team's third. Clock stops with 3:13 to go in the half. McEvans will go to the free throw line and gets the first one to fall. McEvans hits both. Puts him in double figures with 10. His season high is 18 against Huntington. Also had 16 two different times this year against Goshen and Cleary. Brett White steps back with 12 to shoot. Doesn't get the shot to go. 46-31. Lawrence Tech the lead in the basketball with 2:40 to go in the half. Picking up the dribble above the free throw line was McEvans. Salamone stops, turns, gives it up to Yanoltsis. 10 to shoot as he works against Fisher. That was contested, but he scored anyway. And then Farrow had it deflect off his hand and out of play on the feed from Gunnar Walters. Blue Devils have shot at 60% now in this first half, including 53% from three-point range. Thought about the three, did Yanoltsis. He'll go in on Fisher, runs it off the rim, got his own miss, and they'll reset it outside with Rinn. Rinn this way for Salamone. Steps back in the corner, goes up with it. My goodness, how did he get that to fall? He up-faked, leaned in from just inside the three-point line and knocks it home with 90 seconds to go in the half. Parker, sidestep three, does not go down. Rebound Jacoby. Rinn on the attack, sends it into the corner for Salamone. Gets by Farrow, shot doesn't go. On the run, Farrow scooping and scoring. Final minute of play in this first half as Yanoltsis looking to give it off and does to Salamone. He'll back it out for McEvans. 10 to shoot as he rises for three, and it's through. A 3-point barrage in the first half by Lawrence Tech. 53-33. Stepping back for three goes White. Doesn't get that one to go either. Offensive board, Fisher hooks and runs it around and down. Blue Devils can hold for the final shot. There's 13 seconds to go in the half, in which they've shot at 55% from three and 58% overall. McEvans steps back for three. This one catches air, and Walters lost the handle of it at the buzzer, and the half comes to an end with Lawrence Tech leading 53-35. Some final stats from that first 20 minutes of play. Cameron McEvans finishes with 13 points, 4 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting. Andrew Wren right behind him with 12. Blake Lund on 3 of 4 shooting from three-point range finished the half with 11. On the other side for the Warriors, Gunnar Walters has 13 plus 3 rebounds and a couple assists. Brett White shot at only 2 of 10 in that first half, but still finished with 7 points. And James Fisher has 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. But again, in that first 20 minutes, it was the 3-point shot by Lawrence Tech that has catapulted them to this 53-35 lead. And we will take a break, come back second half on the other side on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Welcome back on the RC Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. 20 minutes down, 20 minutes to go. But it was a 20 minutes that was heavily controlled by Lawrence Tech, 53-35, as we make our way out of the halftime break. Blue Devils shot it 10 of 19 from 3 in that first half. Big reason that they've gotten the lead that they have going in and flushing it down is Andrew Rinn to begin the second half. Posted up for Fisher. One more pass for Farrow. Off glass, got it to go as Arash Jacoby went banging down to the floor. Here's Rinn. Goes up against Farrow. Farrow got a hand on it, but they'll say a foul on the way up.
Number 8, Dustin Farrow, his first. Team first, second.
Rinn with that dunk a moment ago. Up to 14 points, 6 of 9 shooting. Has a chance to tack on at the free throw line. Rinn comes in 16 points per game as he knocks down the first free throw, puts him at 15 for the game. Does knock down both. And he's right along his season average of 16. Also has 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Farrow goes in, got his own miss, tries one more time, doesn't go for him either. Tracked down in the corner by Brett White, and his pass looking for Dustin Farrow was airmailed. Now Dolney for 3. Rebound was tapped up and off the backboard. Rinn outside, Salamone for 3. That doesn't go either. And holding it in, but giving it back to the Warriors was Yanoltsis. Now Brett White steps his way into a 3. That doesn't go. Held in by Salamone, but to Dustin Farrow, who lays it in. Right place, right time for Dustin Farrow. He has 7 plus 4 rebounds. Bounce pass kicked off the foot of Gunnar Walters into the hands of Brody Parker. Try to get it inside for Fisher. That's too tall for him and out of bounds. Turnover number 7 by Rochester Christian. They come in averaging right about 12 per game. A little bit higher than where they were a season ago. Only averaged about 10 last year. Swing it around the perimeter. Dolney up fakes for 3. Now he goes up with it. Does not get it to go. The three-pointer has cooled off for Lawrence Tech here to start the second half.
Number 8 for the Blue Devils.
And to cap off that sequence, looks like Yanoltsis will pick up his second. Yanoltsis, a senior from Greece, played his high school basketball, though, here in the States at IMG Academy. Now in his second season with Lawrence Tech after transferring from Spring Hill. Try to outlet to him here on the feed from Dolney. Splits through his hands and out of play. Yanoltsis, 5.6 rebounds and 4 assists for him today. Go inside looking for White. In a crowd, goes straight up and scores it. Trying to bang his way in on Farrow. Farrow contested it, got him to come up short. That was Andrew Rinn. Then Brett White, before he goes baseline, stepped on the sideline out of bounds.
Checking in for the Blue Devils, number 12,
Blake Lund will check in. Salamone will sit down. 16:50 to go in the basketball game. It's 57-41. And again, after Lawrence Tech with a barrage of threes in the first half, 0 of 3 from 3 to begin the second half, but going in, throwing one up and scoring was Andrew Rinn yet again. Rinn having a solid afternoon, 18 points for him on 7 of 11 shooting. Yanoltzis, meanwhile, picks up his third. Inbound comes right to Brett White, who lays it up and in. And now the recipe, if you're the Warriors here, maybe try to get Lawrence Tech in some foul trouble here, already with 2. Yanoltzis has 3 for the game, as the Warriors have been a good free throw shooting team this season, right around 80% as a team. But that could be a way for them if they can sort of hang around here to try and get back in this game, as stepping on the corner was Andrew Rinn.
In for the Blue Devils, number 1, Cameron McEvans.
Cameron McEvans will check back in. He checks back in with 13 points and 4 rebounds so far in this one. McEvans has played 15 minutes already. White goes straight away to the logo for Walters, floated inside for Fisher, who gets bumped and fouled. Looks like it'll be on Blake Lund. That'll be the third on Lund. Lund 11 points in 10 minutes so far. Brody Parker from way outside. One hop off the rim, tapped outside. Farrow was tracking it, but Aaron Dolney comes away with it. Now Dolney wants to settle things down. Here's Rinn, now being guarded by Brett White. Had it poked loose, and it'll stay here with the Blue Devils. 12 to shoot, 15:33 to go in the basketball game. McEvans has it, gets switched on to Dustin Farrow. And he goes up, lost it on the way up, out of bounds. And that'll send us to a media timeout. 15:20 to go in the game. 59-43 our score. Warriors just trying to keep it within range at the time. But so far, Lawrence Tech has looked good in this one, shooting it 53, almost 54% from the floor, still about 45% from 3. Both sides with 8 turnovers in this one. Andrew Rinn with 18, Cameron McEvans with 13, Blake Lund, the other Blue Devil in double figures, with 11. On the other side for the Warriors, Gunnar Walters still leads the Warriors with 13. Brett White has 11, despite just 4 of 13 shooting. Dustin Farrow, 7 points, 5 rebounds for him. And James Fisher, 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Rochester Christian comes into this one 6-3 on the year, but just 1-3 in conference play. Lawrence Tech, meanwhile, 5-5 on the year, 4-1 in WAC play. They've won their last 4. Playing in just their 4th game on the road this year, though, for Lawrence Tech. They're 2-1 in road games so far this year. Their lone loss was an 80-66 loss at Indiana Tech. back to it out of the media timeout, 59-43. Brody Parker has it, gives off to Gunnar Walters. He'll step through a screen by Fisher, then drops it off to him. Fisher backing his way in on Yanaltsis, turns, hooks, and hits. Fisher now with 8 as Lund walks the baseline, goes straight up, doesn't get the shot to fall, and the follow-up goes by Cameron McEvans. McEvans now with 15. 3 is on the way by Farrow. That comes up short, but did just graze the bottom of the rim. Now Yanaltsis picked up the dribble, looking for somewhere to go with it, and taking a tumble over in the corner was Jimmy Salamone. They'll get Walters for his first, team's third. Fouls going 3 aside now. Timeout on the floor with 14:19 to go in the game. 61-45 our score on the RC Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
$14-19 to go in the game. Lawrence Tech leads it 61-45. Looking to win their 5th in a row on this 2024 season after they started out the year 1-5. Have won their last 4 against Concordia, Cleary, Lourdes, and Siena Heights. They stand 4-1 in conference play. Warriors 1-3. Jacoby wanted to give it up to Salamone. Salamone tumbled, trying to go get the basketball. Get it over to Lund. Lund gets by his defender, goes up, does not hit the shot, hit the floor. Possible 5-on-4 if the Warriors want it. Brody Parker gets fouled. Does not get the shot to go, but should be 3 free throws upcoming. That'll be the first on McEvans, team's 4th. Brody Parker will shoot 3. First time at the line today for Brody Parker as he knocks down the first. Second one good as well. Parker comes into this one an 84% free throw shooter and makes easy work of those 3 for his first trip to the free throw line today. He's got 7 plus 2 rebounds and 4 assists as going up and ripping it down is Andrew Rinn for the second time this half. That's how we started the second half. Rinn getting to the rim and flushing it down. Farrow tried to work his way inside, had it stolen away by Lund. Lund trying to go coast to coast, gets cut off by Dustin Farrow. He'll lean back and score. $13:15 to go, 65-48. Walters has it, floats it this way. Brett White spots up for 3, drops it in. give the assist to Walters. That's his 5th assist of the day. Brett White has 14. That 3 at the other end, just his 2nd of the day. 5 out of 14 from the floor overall. Mentioned that assist for Walters was his 5th. He'll go inside for Fisher, who was met at the rim by Jacoby, whistling a foul as Fisher tried to flush it down. That'll put Fisher at the free throw line. 74% free throw shooter on the season. And he'll come up short on his first. 12:35 to go in the game. Rinn tried to pull up for 3. That was interrupted by Brett White. And then sending it all the way up floor to Fisher. He was grabbed and fouled before he could go up with it. That'll be the 2nd on Arash Jacoby, team 6th, with 12:28 to go. Inbound comes out to the elbow to Fisher. He'll set it out high for Brett White. Off a curl is Gunnar Walters, dumps it to Fisher, backs his way in on Jacoby. Up fakes, goes up with the left-hand hook, doesn't go. Rebound to Rinn. This was slapped away by Gunnar Walters. Let's see which way they go with it. They say it's Warriors basketball. Inside of 12 to play, 65-51 Blue Devils. Warriors look to cut into this deficit a bit here. Still time left as Walters hangs in air, tried to go inside for Fisher, had it knocked away. Still 18 on the possession. Walters will trigger on the inbound. Gets it out high to Brett White, gets it back from him. Long 2 is up, and we'll get a whistle on the floor. Call's going to go against Dolney. That'll be his 3rd, team 7th. That puts the Warriors in the bonus. First free throw does not go. 1-1 for Ashton Gould, comes up empty. Still 65-51. Trying to back his way in goes Rinn. Gets hung up by Gould. Free throw line for Lund. Tried to drop it off. That was almost taken away by Fisher. He'll go down to the floor and tie it up. The possession arrow favors Rochester Christian, so we'll go the other way. 11:20 to go in the basketball game. Brett White, 14 points, leads the Warriors, just 5 of 14 shooting today. Gunnar Walters, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And if things end up the way they are statistically, Walters yet again would finish with a team high in assists. The only time he didn't do so this season was against Lourdes a couple games ago. Last time we were here, it was actually Polatoglu that led the Warriors in assists that day with 3. Walters had just 2. but every other time the Warriors have stepped foot on a basketball court this season, it has been 11 in white that has led them in the assist department. Back it out with Lund with 10 to shoot, working on Gould. He'll step back to his left and knock it down. 68-51. Walters charges in, underhand flip with the left hand goes. Solid afternoon for Gunnar Walters, but a response at the other end. Jimmy Salamone for three. Brett White works against Lund, trying to work his way in, goes up, puts it back. And the whistle and the foul came before that. That'll be the fourth on Blake Lund. Warriors already in the bonus. Brett White will go to the free throw line, 2 out of 2 so far today, and make it 3. He'll have one more coming at the line, 71-54. And after starting out the year 5-0 for the Warriors, they've now dropped 3 out of their last 4 as White knocks in both free throws. On the other side for Lawrence Tech, 4-0 in their last 4, looking to make it 5. Rin has it, steps back and draws Polatoglu on him defensively. Crosses over, now has Brett White on him. Dolney for 3, that's good. Going in, laying it up and in. Gunnar Walters for 2. All things considered, Walters and White, both with solid performances here today. McEvans is going to go in. Layup does not go, but he got hit hard on the way up. Walters 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Brett White 16 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Foul goes against Brody Parker. It'll be his second, team's 4th. Timeout on the floor with 9:15 to go. 74-57 is our score. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for Rochester Christian. Their next game comes on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, as they go back on the road to Cleary. Warriors started out the year, as mentioned, 5-0. Had a couple of close calls, though, in that stretch. 78-74 was the final against IU Northwest. 81-80 in overtime to Marion. And then Warriors fans can remember back to November 16th. 4.5 seconds to go in that one. Brody Parker runs almost the length of the floor and lays it in at the buzzer. 70-69 was the final in that one, as he finished with 16 points and the game winner. But since the turn to the conference schedule, it's been a bit of a different story for Rochester Christian. 85-81, a setback to Cornerstone. Then 84-71 here on Tuesday, November 26th, right before Thanksgiving, to Lourdes. Got a game winner against Aquinas on December 4th, 69-67, but then fell last Saturday to Madonna, 81-65. Back out of the timeout, 9-10 to go. Polatoglu knocked it away. And it'll be Warriors basketball, as it looks like they got Jacoby for the foul, battling for the loose ball against Polatoglu. Polatoglu looks like he's shooting a 1-and-1 here and doesn't get it to go. Brett White tapping the rebound. He goes down to his backside after a couple tap-in tries. Rinn going end to end, lay it in, counted in a foul. They'll get Brody Parker for his third. Lay in good for Rinn. He'll have one at the line. Off the heel. Brody Parker goes in, hangs, floats, cannot hit but draws the foul. So he'll shoot some free throws. Clock stops with 8:51 to go. Parker 7 points so far today. 3 for 3 at the line. All three came on the same trip as he misses this one. Second one goes for him. Brody Parker, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists today. Half of his points coming via the free throw line. Trey Walker, the third, into the basketball game for the Warriors, 6 in the white. They'll send it outside to him with a quick jab step. Now works it outside Brett White for 3. Spun it around the rim and out. Yanaltsis, extra pass, finds Dolney. Now swinging around the arc, into the corner it goes for McEvans, who walks in, drops it off Yanaltsis. In a crowd, back to McEvans for 2. Walters, Walker for 3. No good, popped out. .740 to go in the game, 78-58. Yanaltsis thought about the 3 and said he'll go inside on Polatoglu. Picks up the dribble, drops it off McEvans, swatted by Brett White, tracks it down in the corner, holds it into Trey Walker the third, and he gets knocked to the floor right in front of the Blue Devils bench. As it looks like Dustin Farrow awaiting a chance to come in, and he will do so. Check that, they'll have him step back to the scorer's table as Walker the third goes to the free throw line. Sinks the first. They do let Farrow come in now for Polatoglu. So it's Walker the third, Brett White, Dustin Farrow, Walters, and Parker on the floor as Walker the third knocks down both free throws. Nearly stolen away by Brett White. Knocked out of bounds, will stay at this end. White trying to go for the swipe again. Rinn got knocked down on the layup try. Brody Parker's off and running. He gets knocked down. Brett White's there to clean it up. McEvans goes in. Brody Parker trying to contest, gets tangled up with him, and that should be the foul on Brody Parker.
Down the Warriors, number 5, Brody Parker, his 4th.
That'll be his 4th. That'll put McEvans at the free throw line. First one good by Cameron McEvans. That's 2 at the line for McEvans. He's got 19. And that's now the 8th time this season that McEvans has had 10 or more points in a game, as driving, scoring, and drawing the foul was Gunnar Walters. That'll be the 4th on Giannis Yanoltsis. Free throw goes down for Walters. (80-65), still 6:40 to go in the game. From Garth Pleasant Arena, Stephen MacDonald here with you on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Walker the third, marking defensively on Andrew Wren. He gets the takeaway. Walters goes in, and that's an offensive foul on the basket. Got all the way to the rim, laid it up and in, but a little too much contact there initiated by Gunnar Walters that time. Player down for the Blue Devils behind the play at the other end. That's Andrew Wren. Andrew Wren staying down and clearly in some pain, so we'll step aside. 6:20 to go in the game, 80-65 our score.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Back out of the injury timeout to Andrew Wren. Does not look good, as he had to be carried off the floor and straight to the locker room with 6:20 to go in the game. And he will exit the game 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. And they will look at his lower body, whistling a foul as we get back to the action. Foul's going to go on Gunnar Walters. That's his 3rd. That'll put Salamone at the free throw line. First time today at the free throw line. Knocks down the first free throw. He'll have one more upcoming. And sinks them both, 82-65. And now for the Warriors in 5 conference games so far this season, giving up 80 or more points in 4 of those 5. And in the previous 3, have an 0-3 record in those games. And one thing that we talked about at the start of the season, going back to that exhibition with Oakland, mentioned in 11 of those 12 losses a year ago, surrendered 80 or more points. And a similar trend developing this season as the underhand flip shot does not go for Jimmy Salamone, but a whistle and a foul before the shot. That'll put Salamone back to the free throw line. Hit both of his free throws just a second ago. And he'll add on one more. Blue Devils came into this one 79 points per game on the year. Used 10 three-pointers in that first half to open up a big lead in this one as they led at the break 53-35. Things have evened out more here in the second, 31-30 in the second half. This skip pass by Brett White clangs off the rim, and away with it comes Blake Lund. Now Salamone works his way in on Walker III, up fake, scoops, and scores. And now Salamone, all of a sudden, 6 straight points. Got 4 at the free throw line, then the lay-in there against Walker III. Brody Parker works his way in, goes high off glass, and fills it. Inside 5 minutes to play from Garth Pleasant Arena. Warriors' next game will be on Wednesday against Cleary. That'll be on the road. Pulling up for 3, knock it down. Jimmy Salamone is absolutely feeling it. Float it to Farrow, gets caught up in air, drops it in. That'll be the 5th on Lund. Count the basket, and Farrow will shoot a free throw on the other side of this timeout. But it's 89-69 with 4:22 to go in the game. We'll take a quick timeout on the RC Sports Network. .69 Lawrence Tech out in front. 4:22 to go in the basketball game. And in the last few minutes, Jimmy Salamone has caught fire. He now has 17 points on 5 of 10 shooting. He knocked down 4 straight free throws, got a layup and then a 3, all in the span of, we'll say, about 2 minutes. So an unreal run for 10 in black, Jimmy Salamone. On the other side for the Warriors, Farrow hit a lay-in, got fouled, so he'll shoot a free throw as we make our way out of the timeout, and he knocks it down. Solid day for Farrow. He's got 10 and 5 rebounds. McEvans gets turned away. Up the floor, Brody Parker forcing the issue. Comes up short. Long rebound comes all the way out. There's a battle for it on the floor, won by the Warriors. Get it to Brett White, who hangs. Tapped his own miss, but tapped it into the hands of Jimmy Salamone, who gets knocked down and fouled. Foul's going to go against Farrow. That's just his second. But both teams playing this one out in the bonus. Salamone at the free throw line. Knocks it down. Salamone continuing to put the ball in the basket here in the last few minutes. Gives him 18 and now 19 as he hits both. 5 of 5 at the free throw line. And mentioned also had that layup and a three-pointer as well. Dustin Farrow, however, having an impressive few minutes of his own here down the stretch. Again, Lawrence Tech on their way to their 5th straight win. Would improve their road record to 3-1 on the season would put them over the 500 mark overall as they look to go to 6-5 on the year and 5-1 in conference play. Their upcoming schedule looks like this. They'll be at Madonna on Wednesday. As Salamone yet again at the free throw line. One more for him with 3:23 remaining. And he has not missed at the free throw line. Then after that trip to Madonna on Wednesday, Lawrence Tech will make their way back here on December 30th and 31st. As Rochester Christian will play host to yet another invitational this season. That'll be their 3rd already this season.
At the line, shooting 2, number 10, Brett White.
Brett White will go to the free throw line. Knocks down one. Second one good as well. For Brett White, he's got 20 plus 6 rebounds and 2 assists as McEvans lays it up and in at the other end. Get the ball to Dustin Farrow. He'll drive to his right, gets knocked down, and a travel's going to be called against McEvans. Blue Devils need just one more point to tie their season high, which was 96 back on November 23rd against Concordia. They'll need a couple more field goals to tie their season high from that same game as they had 36. How about this? Trey Walker III, confident pull-up from the baseline, puts it through. He's given the Warriors some solid minutes here down the stretch as Coach Pleasant went to his bench but lost his footing there defensively, and the lay-in goes. And there it is, a new season high for Lawrence Tech in points with 97, as Brett White fading back scores. Inside of 2 minutes to play from Garth Pleasant Arena, both sides look like they're gonna empty their benches a bit here. Leaning back goes Salamone, shot doesn't go, but a whistle and a foul will put him back to the free throw line, where he's 8 out of 8 in this one, all coming here in just the last few minutes.
Stepping in for the Warriors, number 1, Ashton Brewer, number 13, Ronald Jackson, number 14, Stavros Politoglu.
Subs for both teams. We'll get you those here in a second as Salamone's at the line. Puts in the first. Gives him 9 out of 9 at the free throw line. Out there for the Warriors right now, it's Gould, Jeremy Neal, Trey Walker III, Raul Jackson, and Stavros Polatoglu. As Salamone goes 10 for 10 at the free throw line, he will check out. On the other side for Lawrence Tech, Perkins, Tolu, check that, Salamone just checked out. McIntosh in for him. Finn Mole and Noam Edry on the floor. Polatoglu gives off to Neal. Neal curls inside the free throw line, throws up a shot, no, with 7 to shoot, and 1:23 to go in the game. Whistle and a foul on the shot try by Jeremy Neal. Earns himself some free throws here. Foul goes on McIntosh. First free throw goes through. Neal takes a deep breath and sinks both. Into the front court is Joshua Perkins. He'll get it right back from Edry, driving right. That was deflected by Jeremy Neal, but looks like a whistle and a foul is going to be called. And they get Neal for the foul. 1:09 to go in the game. Puts Perkins at the free throw line. Hits the first as Lawrence Tech hits the century mark. And does not get the second to fall. Just the third miss at the free throw line for Lawrence Tech today. As Neal goes in, outside, Gould stops back outside. Jackson for 3, does not go. Offensive rebound tracked down in the corner by Jeremy Neal. Backing his way in goes Polatoglu. Drops it off baseline for Walker III, who comes up short, got his own miss. Outside, Gould for 3. Battle for the loose ball. Warriors get it back with Walker III. Polatoglu wants to try a 3. Comes up just short. Shot clock will turn off for the final 18 seconds. Walk it into the front court with Joshua Perkins, and looks like he'll just hang on to it. Lawrence Tech's going to win their 5th in a row, go to 5-1 in conference play, a 100-80 victory here from Garth Pleasant Arena. Meanwhile, Rochester Christian will go to 1-4 in conference play and fall to 6-4 overall on the season. Get some final stats from this one before we sign off. Lawrence Tech sees 3 players score north of 20 points in the win. Jimmy Salamone, thanks to 10 out of 10 at the free throw line, finishes with 25 points. That's a game high. Andrew Wren finished with 22 points and 9 rebounds, and we are sending our thoughts to him as he went down with an injury late in this ball game and had to be helped off the floor. Looks like, taking a look in the tunnel, he's making his way back to the locker room right now. But again, hope that he is okay. And Cameron McEvans, the other Blue Devil with 20 or more, he finished with 21 points, 6 rebounds on 7 of 11 shooting. On the other side for the Warriors in the loss, they had 2 players of their own finish with 20 or more. Brett White with 22 and 6 rebounds. Gunnar Walters with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. But Lawrence Tech shoots at 52% from 3-point range. in the win. They shoot it over 57% for the game, and they set a new season high in points in the win here today with 100. Their previous high was 96 just a couple weeks ago against Concordia. As again, they win their 5th in a row and their 5th in conference play. Meanwhile, Rochester Christian dropping their 4th in their last 5 after starting out the year 5-0. They'll fall to 6-4 on the season. So for SID Hussein Murray, my name's Stephen MacDonald saying so long from Garth Pleasant Arena, where the final score one final time is the Blue Devils 100 and Rochester Christian 80. This has been a presentation of the RC Sports Network.